Hey everyone, it's JFO here. Welcome to February 1st, 2021. I'm here to bring you the February transit report. I'm so excited. I also have the year transit report on my channel as well. So if you want to check that out, you can find it. So let's get started. Are you excited? Okay, so I'm actually filming this prior to February 1st. I'm filming it on the 29th of January, and we are actually about to go into our Mercury retrograde. We've been in it because we've been in the pre-phase. There's always that pre-phase, the actual retrograde of Mercury, and then there's the shadow phase, right? So it's really 8 weeks long, and we have that 3 times a year. So this is the first of 2021, and it's an 8-week long process. So we went into the pre-phase on January 16th. And I have all of my notes here on my laptop. Okay, so the 30th is when Mercury went retrograde in Aquarius, 26 degrees. And why that's important is if you are an astrology geek and you want to look in your chart and see where 26 degrees Aquarius falls in your chart, you're going to be able to find out what this whole retrograde is going to be about for you, because February is all about this retrograde. It's a huge time right now for Aquarius energy because of the retrograde, because Jupiter and Saturn went into Aquarius in December and we're in Aquarius season. So it is like Aquarius, like just to the max, right? So this is going to happen. Oh, I didn't put the time. That's okay. I'll go back in a second and look at it. But that's Mercury in retrograde. Are we ready? Are we ready for it? So what does that mean? It just means that Mercury, which is the planet of communication, okay, it represents Virgo and Gemini. That's Mercury. So it's Virgo and Gemini themes is what Mercury is. And so Gemini is communication. Virgo is all about work and, logistical. I think the way you could think of it is like Virgo is really like that logical voice within your mind. Okay. So it's logical communication is the way you could think of it. So everything that's like physical related to communication is going to stall. Okay. Now, usually what stalls a lot of times is travel as well, but not a lot of people are traveling right now. So we're really going to feel this from a technology standpoint. Okay. That's what I'm feeling, because Aquarius is all about innovation. It's all about the community. It's all about our mental, passionate, mental, spiritual view, okay? Because Aquarius is the spiritual stage of astrology, so it sees the bigger spiritual picture, okay? It's an air sign, so it's going to think about that. It's really going to go into those thoughts and get curious about that, right? And then it's a fixed sign, so it's all about passion. And usually Aquarius represents the community or innovation of some type. But the negative of Aquarius is mentally obsessing over things and never getting anywhere, just like wandering in this abyss of ideas and thoughts. So something to understand about February is that this is kicking off a huge thing we're going through right now, which is this mental warfare that we're going through right now. And that's because our destiny is also in an air sign in Gemini. And so it's all right now about what our perceptions are, because our destiny, our collective destiny in Gemini and our comfort zone in Sagittarius is all about the perception energy. I've been speaking about this in all of my videos. But perception, mutable signs, is all about, learning information and then imparting that information. But a lot of times the perception signs want to get in their ego about things, and they want to say, well, my perception's correct and your perception's wrong, right? So that's a lot of what we're going through right now. But all 3 of our Mercury retrogrades this year are all in air signs. So this year is all about our mind, and we're kicking it off with that spiritual mind and that obsessive mind. Okay. So don't be freaked out if this month you are mentally obsessing over things in your life, mentally obsessing over why is this happening, and getting attached and clinging to your thoughts, because that's fixed energy. Okay. So that's Mercury retrograde. I will get my book in a second to see the time, so I can give you guys the time, because I know some people want to put this in like their calendar. I don't know. Okay. So February 1st, today, if you're watching this on February 1st, Venus goes into Aquarius at 8:05 a.m. Central Time. I do it in Central because that's where I live. But this is kind of cool because we're going to be adding in this Venus-y energy. And we've got a lot of Venus-y energy right now because we have Uranus in Taurus. Taurus represents Venus. We've got Mars in Taurus. right? So there's like this Venus tone to everything, and Venus is the planet of money and love and passion and pleasure and beauty, right? So that's going to be very, very interesting to see. Like we go into this retrograde and then we kick it off with Venus going into Aquarius and joining Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, the sun. Like it's really interesting, all these planets in Aquarius, okay? But then next week, on the 4th of February at 11:37 a.m. Central Time at 16 degrees Scorpio, we have the last quarter moon in Scorpio. Now, the reason why I give you guys the degrees, it's so important, is because you can look this up in your chart, and soon enough, I'm going to have some really cool freebies and some really cool courses that are going to teach you how to do this, okay? So stay tuned on that and sign up for my, at my website, sign up for my newsletter. All the information's below. I'm constantly changing it, so just always check below for how to work with me, how to connect with me, how to get on my list. But this is the last quarter moon in Scorpio. Moon is emotion. Scorpio is emotion. Scorpio is transformation and dying, being reborn anew. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's that kind of the hidden secrets of the world, right? Scorpio represents that. Scorpio is also the intimacy sign of the zodiac. It's the only water sign that's a fixed sign. So here we go again, more fixed energy, but we're heightening it with an emotional tone, with this moon, with this Scorpio, with this last quarter moon. The last quarter moon always sort of feels like a death, right? Because we're kind of ending that moon cycle and going into the next. So we also just had the full moon last week in Leo, which is also a fixed sign. So we are in fixed sign energy right now. Remember, fixed signs are all or nothing, all or nothing. They're attachers, clingers, passionate, right? Okay. And they're extreme. They're extreme. So if you're having extreme thoughts, extreme emotions, this is most likely why. Okay. So that's the first week of February. Let's go into the second week of February. We have on the 11th, so it takes one full week from that last quarter moon. So don't be surprised if you're feeling crazy. The 11th of February is when we go into the new moon in Aquarius at 1:06 p.m. Central at 23 degrees Aquarius. Okay, now remember, we went backwards in 26 degrees. Okay, so 26 degrees, we were going backwards. Okay, so new moon in Aquarius. I feel like that's going to be a really good energy because once we're in the retrograde, it's usually a little bit more calming and more soothing. It's really that like energy leading up to the retrograde and the energy after the retrograde once we go direct, when I find that it's the most intense. Also during the retrograde in like really harsh aspects or really harsh tones, we'll feel that. But I feel like with the new moon, it's ushering in this new energy. It's ushering in this Aquarius and everything's lining up, right? We got Venus, we got Jupiter, we got Saturn. We got Mercury, we got the sun, all in Aquarius. So when you add that moon, that's what a new moon is, right? It's the moon and the sun are in the same sign. When you add the moon in, it's just a powerful energy, right? And this really is the new dawn of this new age of this Aquarius energy. Now, when people talk about an age, okay, in astrology, I don't want to get too detailed because I don't want to confuse you, but we were like in the Pisces age and we're going into the Aquarius age. That's going backwards in the zodiac. You're going backwards. It's almost like a retrograde. It's actually not looking at a planet necessarily. It's more having to do with like the equinoxes or whatever. I don't want to like go too into the weeds of like the details on it because I don't even know myself because I really, really study more personality astrology. But when you're talking about the age of Aquarius, it's supposedly the ages shift in the zodiac. And it takes about 2,100 years to do that. 2,100 years. So I think we're like at the 2000th part of this, right? So it's like technically we could say we're not in the Aquarius age yet, right? Like we have like 100 more years to get there. But the reason why we're all talking about it and we feel it is because of this Jupiter and Saturn going into Aquarius. Just waiting for Pluto to join. And Pluto hasn't been in Aquarius since way back when it was in Capricorn. Right now it's in Capricorn, okay? And the last time it was in Capricorn was, I think it left Capricorn in 1778, right? So that was the last time we had Aquarius in Pluto. So in 2023, let's see, 21, 22, the beginning of 2024, I think is when it goes. Pluto will go into Aquarius. So we're ending this Pluto in a Capricorn cycle. That's why, guys, this is such a huge freaking time with this Aquarius retrograde and this Aquarius energy, okay? So it's a bigger picture, okay? Now, that's the new moon. So then the third week of February, we've got Sun in Pisces at 4:44 a.m. Central. On the 18th of February, Sun will go into Pisces. So it's going to kind of offset that Aquarius energy and bring us back into this Pisces energy. And Neptune, which rules Pisces, is right now in Pisces. So when the Sun goes in on the 18th, we're going to slowly move into this kind of like imaginary energy, this dreamy like energy, right? And so it's going to be really interesting. Now, the negative of Pisces is wearing the rose-colored glasses and not wanting to see the truth of things and not wanting to see reality because you want to just live in the dream. So there's like the double-edged sword, right? Sword of it, right? So there's people that are in a high vibe version of Pisces, meaning that they're like, oh my God, they're limitless possibilities and we can ascend out of the body. That's what Pisces represents. It represents the soul and ascension because it's the last sign of the zodiac cycle, okay? But the negative of Pisces is wanting to not face reality, wanting to just be in the cushion because life is too hard and wanting to stay comfortable. So some people might be wearing the rose-colored glasses of Pisces and other people might be transcending their expansion and their perception, because Pisces is a mutable sign, their perception of truth and their perception of what they're seeing and being able to believe in the unbelievable. That's the energy of Pisces, okay? So the next day, we go into the first quarter moon in Gemini at 12:47 p.m. Central, 1 degree Gemini. And that's big because our current destiny is in Gemini. So when the moon goes into the same sign as our current destiny, it's got that destiny energy to it, right? So because the moon, in Gemini, is an air sign, and we've been in all this air energy, it's going to bring back a little more of that air energy. Again, this year is all about your mind. It's about managing and controlling your thoughts and recognizing that that's all that really exists. Truthfully, that's all that really exists. It's the only thing you have control over, okay? So it's a big message of this year. So if you hopefully you're watching this message before February, right? So that you can remind yourself this when you're in February. But just know that you might feel psycho. You might have psycho thoughts, okay? All right, so that very next day, on the 20th of February at 6:52 p.m. Central, Mercury will go direct in Aquarius at 11 degrees. So we went from 26 degrees to 11 degrees. That was the backwards motion. And now we're going to go forward. So when we were at 11 degrees before the retrograde on the 16th of January, that was the pre-phase, okay? Then we went to 26 degrees backwards. We got to 11 degrees. And then we're going to move forward, but we're not fully forward until we get to that 26th degree. Can't even say it. So when is that? That is March 13th. Okay. That's when the shadow phase will be done. So from the 20th of February to March 13th is a huge freaking time. That is the shadow phase. Okay. You're going forward, but are you really forward? Right. And when you look in your chart, if you look in your chart for the degrees, you'll see where it is happening all in your chart, which is powerful. So the next week in February, the 25th of February, Venus will go into Pisces at 8:11 a.m. Central, which is awesome. We're ushering more of that Pisces in, but this is Pisces season. At the end of February, March is when we go into Pisces. So this is like a natural transit, right? And then we have the full moon. Now, here's why this is big. The 27th of February, full moon in Virgo, 8 degrees at 2:17 a.m. Central. Now, why is that big? Well, it's big because we're ending the month in this powerful way, right? But the reason why it's big is because we have the full moon in Virgo. Okay, so moon in Virgo. We've got opposition of that Virgo. We've got Sun, we've got Venus, we've got Neptune, all in Pisces, okay? Opposing that moon in Virgo. Virgo represents reality. Pisces represents the dream. Virgo represents the body. Pisces represents the soul, okay? It's the feminine, mutable signs of the zodiac. Perception, but going inward, okay? And that line of that full moon line is going to square our collective destiny, which is masculine perception. So that is going to be like the peak of the roller coaster ride of perception. Okay. There's going to be reality. There's going to be the dream. There's going to be blunt energy of me. There's going to be, Gemini energy of what's real, what's the presentation, right? So it's like this cosmic cross, so to speak, of the perception signs, the mutable signs of the zodiac is going to happen at the end of February on the 27th. So that is February, guys. Hold on to your horses for March. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, let me know. And find the link below. If you go below to all the description information, you will be able to find a link, direct link to work with me in an audio reading. I'm going to read you your entire destiny. You need to know your time of birth, but I'm going to tell you your destiny, and you can ask questions before the reading and questions after. So if you want me to do some transit stuff in that recording, I can totally do that and tell you how this is all going to play out for you. Until next time, bye.